I congratulate you once again. This is a very special event that's near and dear to me. My mother retired with 36 years in public education, and she received a crystal apple at a faculty meeting. And I thought, wow, couldn't you at least give her a biscuit and gravy? So I'm tickled to know that we can break bread together and celebrate the conclusion of your career serving other people, and that's why we're here today. Jean Perret said, retirement is wonderful. It's doing nothing without worrying about getting caught at it. So we are excited about your next chapter that you are entering. And this day is to celebrate each of you and your contributions toward the success of our students and our organization in Lawrence County Schools. So when you retire and you find yourself bored, we're going to give you a few suggestions right now to try to stir up some excitement during your retirement years. First and foremost, one thing you may want to consider doing in retirement is write positive letters to the editor or Facebook posts regarding controversial issues. Or hit I-16 between the hours of 7 a.m. and 9 a.m. and drive below the speed limit and turn your left turn signal on. Okay. Another suggestion is find clothes you wore 25 years ago, put them on, and go hang out with 3 or more of your friends in Walmart pushing empty buggies. Or randomly show up at your doctor or dentist office and apologize for being late for an appointment that you do not have and watch the staff go bananas. Or go to Home Depot and randomly ask customers if you can assist them. And the final thing that you may want to do to stir up excitement is sit in the grocery store parking lot or the Walmart parking lot and lay on the car horn when you see other cars close by attempting to back out of their parking spaces. But today is a day to celebrate you, and we have a token of appreciation for your time. And I'm going to ask Dr. Rhonda Hightower to come up and help me present each of you with a plaque in honor of your years of service. So when I call your name, if you could come up, Billy Canady, Northwest Lawrence. Joe Cooper. Is Joe here? I don't think Joe is here. Kenneth Culpepper's not here. He retired in transportation as well. Alfreda Fitcher, child nutrition. Tim Franks is not with us today. Cynthia Green Stanley. She works hard to keep me straight.
Yes. There, darling. We'll get this right. Wait a minute. Okay.
Congratulations. Great job. Sarah Jones, West Lawrence Middle. Is Sarah here? I think she is. Sherry Morman, Dr. Sherry Morman, West Lawrence Middle School.
We should have did photo ops.
Congratulations. Before breakfast. Thank you. Congratulations. Cynthia Savant. Cynthia is not with us this morning. Nancy Sellers, West Lawrence High School. Renee Shaddix, West Lawrence Middle School. Renee here, she's not here. Janice Smith, Northwest Lawrence Elementary. Mr. Keelan couldn't make it today. Laureen West, Transportation. Claudia Right, Transportation. Right, Claudia. Good job, thank you. And last but not least was Margie Right, School Nutrition. I'm gonna have to find somebody else to harass in her kitchen. Thank you for all you do. Okay.
It's time for real help and real solutions. Steel Dealer Days are here. With a limited time pricing on select steel equipment, there's no better time than now to visit Cullen Supply and Engine Service. Right now, save $20 off the MS-170 chainsaw or choose from any of our hard-working grass trimmers, starting at just $129.95. When you buy the BGA 56 battery blower set, you save $30 off the FSA 56 battery trimmer. Get them both for only $319.90. Steel has equipment that you need to get the job done. Visit Cullen Supply and Engine Service, 910 East Jackson Street in Dublin, 826 Harris Street, Sandersville. You can count on Cullen's.
Hi, I'm Perry Williamson. We've been serving the Dublin Lawrence community for over 90 years here at Williamsons Bakery. We specialize in donuts, cakes, pies, cupcakes, cookies, birthday cakes. They're our business, not a hobby. And don't forget our large selection of cheese straws. For special orders, contact us on Facebook, Instagram, or better yet, just come get you some. When you stop by, be sure to try our all-new Pig in the Blankets. We have bacon, sausage, and chicken. We're located at 1634 Veterans Boulevard, Dublin, Georgia. For the hot, freshest donuts, come to Williamsons Bakery. We proudly support our area athletics.
We're used to meeting in this site for our Lawrence Dublin Retired Educators meetings, and sometimes the mic works and sometimes it doesn't, and it is all dependent on batteries, and we can run them out pretty well in our meeting. But I am here to just thank you for being here today and the work that you've done all through the years for Lawrence County School System. I spent 34 years with Lawrence County Board of Education and have enjoyed retirement in some ways. I still work, but you have a lot of opportunities. One of the ones that I want to share with you is the opportunity to be with other educators retired at the Lawrence Dublin Retired Educators meetings. We generally meet on the third Thursday, starting in September. This time we are meeting in August, the third Wednesday in August, and that will be at 8 o'clock for an area meeting. And I walked right away and didn't bring that little note of what that date is. Let me pick that up. It will be August the 21st at 8 o'clock. And that will be our areas around us, 11 and 12, meeting together to discuss things for the new year. At the beginning of a new year, we start out with this on and off again. We start out with a new agenda with a new president, and we have a new logo and a new unveiling of that at that area meeting. And then we have a lot of projects through the year for the Georgia Retired Educators Association. And with that, we're doing things to earn money toward their particular project. This coming year is Alzheimer's. And I don't know about you, but I'm sure you have touched the lives of someone with Alzheimer's in this world that we live in. I had a stepfather that died with Alzheimer's in the 80s, And that was one of the first ones in the area that we really knew a little bit, but called it dementia, didn't really know what it was all about. And it was a horrible experience for him. My mom died in 2013 with Alzheimer's, and for the last 2 years she lived, she didn't even know who we were. You know, there was a little glimmer of I might know, but you don't, and she talked more about the past than she did the present. It's a horrible illness that takes all dignity away from you. But that is our focus for the new year, for 2019-20. And so we do a lot of work. Volunteer is a big part of our organization, and we have come a very, very long way with our volunteer hours. We started out with about 1,000, a little over that, for our first year that I was president, before I was president, and we've really gained hours, and this year we had 11,734 hours of volunteer. And if you look at that and you multiply, let's just say $25 an hour, that's cheap for an educator, right? Most of you make a whole lot more than that an hour. I did when I retired. If you looked at $25 an hour, that's $293,350 back into this community, just in the volunteer work that we do. We have a museum in Flowery Branch, Georgia, and I'm just going to give you a little picture of it. It's the only one that I'm aware of in the United States, the Georgia Museum, Georgia Retired Educators Association Museum. We paid it off in 2019, $600,000 museum. That's just the building, and we paid it off and burned the note in May. So that is exciting. So one of the ways we did that was buying bricks, $100 each. A lot of our educators in Lawrence County have a brick at the museum. And if you look closely, the bricks are in the front, and then we have another little picture over here that there's another side area that has the bricks all around it, and those are already filled. We've opened up 2 more sections around the museum for bricks. Yes, that helped pay off the museum, but now it's helping with some of the other activities that we can do to upgrade the museum. It's not very old, but it is a great museum. Our group is going the 27th of June, and we're leaving about 6:45 on either in a van or a bus, depends on how many we have to go. And I would love for you to be able to go with us. You still can buy a brick, or a family member can buy a brick for you. And in doing so, that helps us to continue activities at the museum. So we are looking at, we've got one of our prior presidents who is working on putting together the history of education in Georgia, and that will be in the center of the museum put up. So we're doing great things at the Georgia Retired Education Association level, as well as things in Lawrence County. I hate to tell you how I found out about Lawrence Dublin Retired Educators Association. I went to Jefferson Street Church to hand the secretary a article to put into the newspaper, something to put into their bulletin. My aunt had died, and my uncle wanted it in Jefferson Street because that's where they grew up in church. And so I went to do that. Pam Davidson, y'all remember, was secretary. She was in the media center down at Southwest. She was the secretary, and I'm like, oh, this is where you are these days. She started telling me about Lawrence Dublin Retired Educators Center, and she said, I won't be there today. Could you go take my place? And I'm like, well, am I dressed to go do that today? She said, sure. So that was my first meeting, came out to the country club for that meeting. We want to have it advertised better than it has been in the past. We have it in the newspaper, in the upcoming events, so that you can see when we're having it all the months of the year. We usually meet September, October, November. We skip December, January, February, maybe March this year. I'm not the incoming president, but we had been in February, April, and May, but we're not going to be meeting in May, I understand. So we're picking up another month. So it's a great organization to be a part of. You'll see people you've worked with for years together. And you have my phone number in the letter that I sent for you, put in your packet. And if you'll call me, I'll be glad to get you connected in with it. I don't have your addresses and phone numbers. That I only have your names. So if you'll stop by and give me all that information, I'll make sure you get a letter. I'm in contact with the new person who's working with membership. Want you involved, because it's a great time together. We meet here, and it's at 12 o'clock noon on the third Thursday. Please come join us on the meeting for the area, and we'll send you a notice on that if you'll let me have your address and be able to get that information out to you. I want to say one other thing about Georgia Retired Educators Association membership. I handed you out one in your packet this morning. Cynthia Stanley has already taken care of hers. And if you mark the left bottom, sign it, it's ADD, that's automatic dues deduction from your retirement check, takes care of it immediately, and you don't think about it again. When you get to be 90 years old, then you become an emeritus member, and you don't think about that you're still a member. We had an emeritus member, a lady turning 90, and she had not kept it up, and I could not give her the Georgia Retired Educators Association lifetime membership. So a really important thing is that we need to be a group organized with numbers. We don't have 30,000 yet, but we're close to it. That's our goal by July 1. So I want you to help me meet that goal in becoming a member today, if you would. I will get it sent off for you. The thing is, if we've got numbers, you know legislature is looking at teachers' retirement. They looked at it heavily this year. We've done a lot to be involved in that. Our executive director, Dr. Bill Sloan, is on the committee. He does everything he can do to notify us. I get emails all the time. Legislative session, we get them daily, and I send them out to our membership. We all have to come together, contact our legislators, and say, this is what we want. We do not want teachers' retirement in the state of Georgia. It is the best one in the entire United States. I'm not just giving you basic information that's not accurate. It is. I go to church with one from Texas, and she said, oh, I wish we had not made any changes. The push is to go to 401k. People, if you don't realize, that means when that 401k money runs out, that's the end of it. You don't have any more retirement. As it is today, those paying in retirement are paying for our retirement as we've done for those before us. So it is important that we continue the retirement program that we have because it is the best in the United States. Please help me to let our legislators know we do not want any changes. And that's one of the things that we bring to you at the meetings. We send you emails, we send you information as to what's coming along. So please fill this out for me today and get it back to me. All you have to do is sign it and put your information on it. I've already put Lawrence Dublin on it, so they make sure we get credit for it. And any questions that you have, call me up or email me or text me. I do not mind helping you any way that I can. With your Georgia Retired Educators Association is benefits. And one of those is long-term. I don't know about you, but I work in a business that people die all around me. I'm going to a funeral from a patient tomorrow. You don't want to look at that, but it's reality. You don't want to look at the condition you may get into before that time. And in that situation, we have a plan for you with the AMBA. I gave you that in your packet. And with that, it lets you know all the services that we have to offer with the AMBA program with your membership benefits. Yours is black and white. I didn't have any extra ones of these. I picked this one up at our convention. But it is the opportunity to enroll in these programs now. Sherry Morman was just talking with me about getting into the Vision program. It's a great one. It saves me $400 every time I go in for an appointment and get glasses. So it's a tremendous savings and a tremendous benefit. And hope that you will join that. I'm a member of the MASA, the Medical Air Services Association. I didn't know about it until we had it at one of our meetings. The biggest advantage of it is it's worldwide. If you are on a trip, you're on a cruise, you're somewhere else, and something happens to you, what do y'all know about Matt Hatchett's daughter? Had he had MASA, he wouldn't have a humongous bill with getting his daughter back home. MASA is air back. It gets you from wherever you are back home, and as part of your membership, it doesn't cost you anything. Imagine that. We don't know when that might happen. I went to pick up my truck the other day, last week, and the guy that does my work, Bruce Price's mother, had a major problem. She ended up at Fairview Park Hospital. They split her leg on both sides, and she had to be sent to Augusta to repair all of that. And I said, Bruce, why didn't you just airlift her to Augusta from the house? I mean, she bumped her leg, and then it started swelling and all these problems that occur from having taken blood thinners. Well, he said, I didn't think about it, Melanie. We're in the crisis, but behind my medical card is my MasterCard, and both my children know you best use it. It pays regardless of what your situation is. If you've got an ambulance visit to the hospital and your insurance does not pay for it, Massa does. It's ground, air, whatever. It's a tremendous benefit. There are just many things that you have an opportunity for if you will use them, and we have an AMBA representative to come to our meetings and help you know that. So thank you so much, and any questions that I can answer for you, thank you very much, and I'm so proud that you have entered the retired educators.
And that's so true. You never know when we need that kind of support, so I'm glad to know it's there for our retirees.
It's also there for anybody else too. I mean,
Okay.
you just have to be a Georgia Retired Educators Association member, and you don't have to be retired to do that.
Okay, all right. I have closing remarks in place of Mr. Kenny Stewart, who sends his regrets. He has an appointment in Macon with one of his children today, so he sends his regrets that he couldn't be here. Retirement's here. Enjoy retirement and this next chapter of life, and stay engaged. Stay connected to the school system, because there's always someone out there that will benefit from your time and your support. If you're looking for ways to stay engaged, I have an opportunity for you, and I can't close without giving you this little piece of advice. If you find yourself bored, disengaged, and wanting to do something, I can guarantee you several things. Additional time with God's greatest creation, a tour around this beautiful countryside that we call home here in Lawrence County, and we will pay you to do that. We're always looking for great bus drivers. So don't go too far. We will always keep you busy. So with that said, I want to say thank you to our building level principals. Raise your hand if you're a principal. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for our district services, our people from our district office who's here. Raise your hand. Everybody from district services, thank you for being here. And if you're a spouse or a family member of someone retiring, raise your hand. We appreciate you being here. Thank you very much. And most importantly, thank you to those of you that we've honored today in retirement. God bless you, and we wish you many years of good health, prosperity, and continued service.
Hi, I'm Matt Sapp, inviting you to come see us at Dexter Meat Company. Our fresh cut meats includes cube steak, stew beef, chuck roast, chuck eye steak, ground beef, ground chuck, and if you love steaks, you'll really love our New York strip, T-bone, and our ribeye and choice or prime cuts. And our marinated steaks have a distinctive taste that you'll be sure to love. We invite all our neighbors to come see us for the freshest cut of meat. Remember, we cater to. Call ahead and we'll have it fixed for you. Monday through Friday, 10 to 7, Saturday, 8 to 6.
Come to Roach Farm and Garden and take home something beautiful. Our Gardens by the River has an excellent selection of statuaries, bird baths, fountains, and a wide variety of flowers, fruit trees, and shrubs. Or come inside and take a look at our decorative accents. Our friendly staff will help you find just what you need for your next outdoor project. And we carry those unique items that are hard to find. Come visit us today. Roach Farm and Garden, Dublin.
Roach Farm and Garden, growing traditions.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Lawrence County Board of Education Retirement Breakfast. We've got some great retirees here who have put in many years of service for our community as well as our school district. We've got Miss Cynthia Green Stanley with us. Hi, Cynthia.
Hi, Pat.
How many years, Cynthia, have you been with the Lawrence County Board of Education?
33 active years.
33 years. So what were you, 2?
No, straight out of college.
Straight out of college.
Yes.
You know, Cynthia, if you could tell us about what your experience has been like in those 33 years when you just think about the lives that you've touched.
Well, it is an honor to give back to a society that has given me a chance to grow, not only as a person, but has educated me to be a better person. And what makes it so great is to see the people that come up in the middle school under me to become educators today, principals. We have O.J. Hall, Reed Waldrop, and Jamie Outlaw. Those are one of my babies.
Oh, wow.
Wow, they came through the middle school and to actually work with them.
Right.
And to see them come up and do great things in education, I think the best thing was the children making a difference.
That's right. And you've certainly made the difference in so many lives. I mean, you've touched my life in more ways than you can ever imagine. And, you know, in those 33 years, you know, there's got to be, what has been the highlight? You say the children. What has been the most rewarding thing for you in your career?
The most rewarding thing for me in my career is seeing a system that has grown.
Yeah.
Change is apparently it's gonna come, so get ready to expect it and adapt to it, because it's gonna happen. But I can truly say the most memorable thing that I can think of is having a grandchild and seeing my grandchild come through this beautiful system.
Right.
I do believe that Lawrence County Board of Education has the best education system.
Oh, you love that, love that. And so also, what are you going to miss?
The people.
Yeah.
It's just like family. You know, you spend more time at work than you do at home. And I'm actually a shaker and a mover. I'm here to serve anybody that walks through those educational doors. So I would miss my work family.
Yeah.
But I would not miss them so much that I don't want to be at work.
Right.
And I thank God for them for allowing me to be the person that I am.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Cynthia. I mean, we know you're going to continue to be a mover and a shaker, you know, as you kind of take a little load off first.
Yes, yes, yes.
And we look forward to the next chapter that is in your life.
And thank you, Pat Brock. And I'd like to say thank you, Dan Brigman and the Lawrence County Board of Education, each and every one of you all. I appreciate everything that y'all have given me, and I hope many more to be returned to whomever.
Wonderful.
God bless you all.
God bless you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Cynthia Green Stanley, 33 years, Lawrence County Board of Education. Ladies and gentlemen, we got Dr. Sherry Morman with us. Dr. Morman, how many years in education have you spent?
Well, I had 29 and a half, some of 19 here, 10 with the state of Georgia, so.
Oh my gosh, 29 years, almost 30 years of your life, serving this community, serving kids. Tell us about how your career was. Like, where did you start out?
I started as with Lawrence County as a teacher at East Lawrence High School. And I really enjoyed that. A lot of people think, oh, you want to teach high school?
Right,
But high school was a lot of fun. It really was. I enjoyed the high school students being involved, worked with Anchor Club, was the Anchor Club sponsor, was the senior class sponsor, worked with One Act Play and Model United Nations. We took a group of 20 kids to New York. That was an adventure. That was quite the adventure. But that's where we started, was at East Lawrence High School. And then I decided, well, I might want to try my hand in administration. So I went to East Lawrence Middle. I was assistant principal at East Lawrence Middle for 7 years, and I worked with Diane Jones, one of the greatest ladies I'd ever known. Diane taught me so much, but I was assistant principal there at East Lawrence Middle for 7 years, and then I got the opportunity to be principal. And then I went to East Lawrence Primary, and I was at East Lawrence Primary for 5 years as a principal, and I got to play with the babies. And I didn't know when I got there if that was going to work, but it was some of the greatest years of my life. It was so much fun. The little ones just look at you like you're a rock star, and they want hugs and kisses and smiles and good mornings, and it was the greatest job. I tell you, that was the greatest job. And then for the last 2 years of my career, I was principal at West Lawrence Middle School. So I've kind of made my track across the county. I've worked with all the different age groups, and I've worked with both sides, and so I was very blessed. I've met lots of wonderful people. I have some lifelong friends, and it's always very heartening, you know, just makes your heart feel good when a kid comes up to you and says, Dr. Morman. I had that happen at Walmart yesterday, so Dr. Morman. So
I mean, that means you've impacted so many lives. And you know, when you worked at the primary school, I mean, you were just like a little kid sometimes, and your level of energy that you had, I mean, that was necessary to do what you did. And I remember I was a little elf, and you came and sat in my lap and told me what you wanted for Christmas. I don't know if I gave you a lump of coal or not, but you know, just to see the energy, and I think that every time I've seen you, you've had that high energy, you know. And you know, it's like, it's many years have you served. A lot of times, you know, teachers and educators seem to get weary. What words of encouragement would you give to educators out there to keep them, you know, to keep them on that straight and narrow, to kind of keep pushing and keeping their eye on the prize?
education is a work of the heart. You've got to have heart. If you don't love children, if you don't love interacting, you know, it's a work of heart.
Yeah.
You've got to have heart to be an educator.
And you have such a big heart.
I do.
You've been retired since December, so what have you been doing with your life, Dr. Morman?
Well, I've still been playing with children. I have 2 grandchildren, a 1-year-old little boy and a 2-year-old little girl, and I've been playing with them. And I love to sew, and I've kind of gotten back to my sewing, so I've been making outfits for my grandchildren and making quilts and just having a big time. And my husband and I have a place up at Lake Sinclair that we bought several years ago, and so we've been going up there, and I've been making him work hard. He says my honey-do list is too long, but we've just been going to the lake and playing with grandchildren, just having a good time, so relaxing a little bit.
You've been enjoying your life then.
Yes.
You know, you have definitely done so much for so many people, and now here it is. It's about you and your honey and those grandkids, you know, getting to do things that you sacrifice so much of your time for.
I still believe it was worth it. I'd do it all over again.
Absolutely. Well, we thank you so much for how you have shown so much love to all our kids and for continuing to do that. And thank you so much for the encouraging words.
Thank you, Pat. I love you.
Love you too. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Dr. Sherry Morman. Thank you.
First Lawrence Bank invites you to experience banking at its best. Whether you have personal or business needs, we're a full-service bank, big enough to handle all of your banking needs and small enough to provide you with that personal touch you've grown to expect from a community bank like First Lawrence Bank. Looking forward to your future? That's First Lawrence Bank in Dublin and Dexter, member FDIC.
This stop was put in the made 4-way intersection on April the 24th of this year. If I'm not mistaken, we had 2 fatalities in 2018 in this intersection, and so far this year we haven't had any, and we're hoping this is going to alleviate that problem. Complete stop is a total cessation of movement. That means you are at a dead stop. You're not still rolling, you are stopped. The wheels are no longer turning on that vehicle. That is a stop.
All right, we've got the lovely Miss Billy Canady, 25 years in education.
That's so true.
Congratulations to you.
Thank you, thank you.
Tell us, Miss Billy, tell us about your journey, if you would.
Well, I started at 40. I was a late bloomer, but my husband told me that I had missed my calling. Wow. And so he paved the way for me to go back to school and become an educator, and it has made me a better person because we learn so much from children. Children can teach us volumes. They are just precious. They are eternal beings, and we have such a huge responsibility in molding their lives, and it's scary.
Yeah.
And it puts us at a position where we have to really think about what we're doing, what we're saying, and the impact we're having on their lives.
You're right. They listen to everything. They watch us, you know. And the Word of God, where it speaks about to whom much is given, much is required, I think about that often.
Yes.
And I don't take that lightly, and I know you haven't through these years.
No. I've always thought the scripture that tells us that we should always do everything as unto the Lord and not as unto men. Yeah. And by doing that, we know we have a higher calling.
Right.
And so what we do, what we say, and how people perceive us is so important, especially the little ones. Especially them. And even to the parents. You think you don't make that much of an impact to the parents, but we do.
Yeah.
We do. And to our whole community. And so we have a huge, huge responsibility.
Absolutely you do. Now, what schools and what age level have you worked with?
Well, I began my education career outside of Lawrence County in Twiggs County. I was there for 2 years, and then John Warren recruited me for Northwest Lawrence, and
Right.
that's where I spent the rest of my the rest of my teaching career. I was a first grade teacher, and then became an RTI interventionist. And I was told by many people that a first grade teacher is one of the hardest grades to teach. And I'm thinking, well, why? Well, but you stay busy.
Yeah.
Those little ones keep you busy, but. It is so rewarding, but
Yeah.
I have to say one of the other rewarding things that I did was help other teachers.
Yeah.
When I had volunteered to have other teachers come into my classroom to do their internships there, that put me at a huge responsibility as well, because I felt like I was helping them be positive teachers for other students as well.
Absolutely, because they had to see a veteran at it.
That's right.
Because I think that when kids get fresh off the boat of, getting a degree in early childhood, getting a degree in middle grade education, they have the book knowledge. And then, of course, even when they do their internships, but it's not until they get in that classroom, they see someone who's been doing it for quite some time, they see your method to your madness, and it kind of helps them.
It does.
For one to come into their own, not to emulate you, but to take some of those good qualities that you have and the things that you teach them so that they can apply that into their teaching style. So I think that's so important.
And they become so much more confident, and it's so rewarding to see them come in nervous and not sure of themselves, but yet going out, I can do this. I can do this.
Yes.
Yeah, and so
That's
it's good.
beautiful.
It
and
is.
so now what are you going to do with your life, Miss Billy?
Well, I want to help take care of my parents and my in-laws and spend more time with them. My children have grown and gone off.
Right.
So I know the good Lord has a plan and everything, so I'm going to take my time up with them. I'm going to travel and spend more time with my husband, and this will give me time to go off and spend time with my family in California.
Oh my
and
goodness,
So,
this is long overdue. They're going to be like, Billy is back. Well, thank you so much for your many years of servanthood. Thank you for the things that you've instilled within these little children, how you've blessed the parents and taken care of their kids, and how you've spoken so much life into these young teachers and educators to help them continue what they do.
Well, thank you. I just thank the good Lord up above for allowing me to serve in the way that I have.
Amen. And you continue serving as you're with your family and taking care of your family.
I sure will. Thank you so much, Pat.
This is Miss Billy Canady, ladies and gentlemen, 25 years and still going. All right, we got the beautiful Miss Margie Right, 19 years of service, Lawrence County Schools. Congratulations, girl.
Thank you.
I mean, this is such a special thing for you.
Yes, it is.
As you've heard some of the other ladies talking about their career, tell us where you started and what's been the most impactful for you in your job.
Okay, I started at Northwest Elementary in 2011. No, 01. And when I started, I wasn't hired at the first.
Okay.
They interviewed me, and then they called me and told me that I didn't get the job.
Okay.
And then a week later, they called me back and said the person that got the job decided they didn't want it.
Oh, wow.
So I was hired. And once I got there, I enjoyed the ladies that I worked with and the children. Oh, my goodness. The babies.
Yes.
That what got me the most. The little ones in pre-K coming in every morning crying, and I just baby them. And, yes, I baby them.
Yes, you did.
And so it was one little boy that captured my heart. His name was Quentin. I have a son named Quentin.
Yes, you do.
And this little boy, he cried, and he was so irritable every day. And so I just took up with him. And he started talking to me, and he asked me my name. And every day I was telling him my name. And every day he asked me, and
What's
he
your
forgets,
name?
what's my name? So I said, I tell you what, just call me Grandma. So I got the nickname Grandma.
Oh, my goodness.
And from then on, all the kids started calling me Grandma.
Look at that.
And then when I left, I worked there 5.5 years. And when I left, they called me and told me that I was going to the high school. Well, I asked to be transferred to the high school. Everybody told me I wasn't going to like the high school because the kids was
Older
mean and yes, and I wasn't going to like the high school children. Once I got to the high school, East Lawrence High School, I had 3 granddaughters going there.
Oh.
One was in the 11 at the time I started, and she was calling me grandma. They all three of them was calling me grandmama. So all the kids started calling me grandma, the high school children and all. I mean, everybody. I mean, from the blacks, the whites, the Mexicans, all of them was calling me grandma. And I just loved it.
Look at that.
I mean, I loved it.
And you know, for them to call you that's really a term of endearment. You know, and that says a lot about you as a person.
Yes.
When a child calls you by a name of affection, that's special.
Yes, it was too.
And so you wound up, you went on to the primary?
Yes, I at the high school for 5 years. Then Donna called me during the summer.
Yeah.
And told me that I was transferred to the East Lawrence primary. I was like, oh no.
No. Nothing.
Because I had a grandson who was in middle school coming to the high school.
Right.
And I was there at the high school when all three of my granddaughters graduated. And I wanted to be there with my grandson when he graduated. So, okay, I went on to the primary, got there. My great-granddaughters start pre-K.
Your great-granddaughter.
Yes, started pre-K. And so from then on, I enjoyed it. Then all the kids there started calling me grandma.
Look at that. So you are the grandma of the Lawrence County School System.
Yes, I am. Matter of fact, I just got a shirt from my lunchroom ladies saying East Lawrence Primary Lunchroom #1 Grandma.
Oh, my God.
Yes, I just got that shirt.
You know, and so in those 19 years, Margie, when you think about the little Quintons that you touched and seeing your grandchildren and your great-grands come through the Lawrence County School System, and now here it is.
Yes.
You're hanging up your apron.
Yes.
I mean,
I am.
Is this kind of bittersweet for you?
It is. It is because there's more kids in there now was in pre-K that's going to kindergarten. The ones in kindergarten going to first and the ones in first going to second. They know me. They ain't going to see me. And then the ones that was in the second this year going to the third next year, I had one little girl that captured my heart. Her name is Secret. She had some family problems, and she called me Grandma also. And she told me, she said, Grandma, I wish you can come on to go to the elementary with me. Wow. And, you know, that's touched my heart, yes.
That's beautiful.
Yes.
So that means you've done some great things, Miss Margie.
Yes.
And so now we're going to fast forward. 19 years up under your belt. That apron has been hung.
Yes.
What are you going to do with your life now?
Well, I am going to work in my ministry work. And then also I'm going to I have 3 great-grandsons that I'll be babysitting also.
So, Granny, you're going to be at it again.
Yes.
Well, we thank you so much, Miss Margie, for the many years. You know, I've been knowing you for so many years, and you've always been so dear to me. Your children, Quentin and Amy, and now your grands and your great-grands.
Yes.
So we just thank you for your many years of service for
you.
Lawrence County Schools.
Thank you.
This has been such a wonderful day, ladies and gentlemen, getting the opportunity to see the retirees being honored and just hearing some of their stories and their journeys and how they've been and the people and the children's lives that they've touched. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You kind of a blessing to be able to retire in a system and also doing something that you love so much. So ladies like Miss Margie here, who's done so many things for the community and for these kids, and you're going to keep doing so.
Yes.
And they're going to see you walking the streets, hey, Granny. That's special. Thank you, ladies, so much, ladies and gentlemen, for watching the Lawrence County School District's Retirement Breakfast here at the Dublin Country Club.